Welcome to Soul Over It, the podcast where science meets spirituality. Get ready to explore the hidden truths of health optimization, wellness, spirituality, and empowerment. We are your hosts, Taylor and Abby Scarpello. Let's dive in. On today's episode, Abby is in the hot seat. I sit down with her to interview her as she is approaching her 25th solar return. We begin to reminisce, share some heart-to-heart conversations, and completely deep dive into all the lessons that Abby has been overcoming, as well as overcame thus far. So tune in for some tea and, of course, exercise for the soul because you are not alone, sis. So, Abby, happy birthday!
Ooh, yay! Thank you.
You're wearing your princess crown because I'm the queen.
Whoa. I thought this episode was about me. So let's clarify. I am wearing the crown because I am the birthday queen.
I'm the one that's steering the horse because I am the lay cowgirl. Well, let's get into it. So, on today's episode, it is a little bit different than our traditional, normal Soul Over It chats and podcast episodes. So, I conglomerated 25 questions that we are going to be asking Abby. Some are a little fun, spicy, a little deep, and yeah, so we're going to get into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I have no idea what I'm about to be asked, but let's do it. Let's get into it.
So I had some fun coming up with all these questions. It didn't really take me too long to come up with them. It's similar to the 75 questions of Vogue. So I did take some questions as inspiration, but gave a little soul over it twist.
Okay.
You ready for number one?
Let's do it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about life right now and why?
Ooh. Okay. I'd say I'm an 8.
Okay.
Which it's pretty high. And I say 8, not 10, just because I think where I'm at right now, where I'm still figuring things out, where I'm still discovering who I am, still kind of just finding out who I am fully. So I'm very excited to be on this journey of finding out more about myself, and I'm very excited to see where this next couple of years or whatever takes me. I am very excited for what's to come.
Love it. So if you can describe yourself in one hashtag, what would the hashtag be?
Okay, wait, this is actually really funny because I don't use hashtags.
It's true. When it comes to social media and posting, Abby gets a little confused. But it's okay. We all have our strengths, our weaknesses, and we all learn.
Yes. So I'm learning.
Hashtag learning.
Maybe that's it. I'm hashtag learning and I'm hashtag healing.
Indeed you are. Number 3, if you could do a love scene with anyone, who would it be?
Okay, wait. How spicy?
Spicy as you want it to be.
Wait, okay, what just popped into my head was I love the movie The Longest Ride with Scott Eastwood.
Yes.
He has my heart.
Oh.
So I think it might be with him in that movie, riding on the horse into the sunset.
Same ending, or are we spicing up the ending of the movie?
I mean, in the end, he's gonna be my lover.
But do you want to be the art gallery girl or the homemaker?
Oh,
and the beautiful baker?
That I'm not so artsy in that sense where I'm not gonna have the art gallery, but the homemaker, the baker, the podcaster, the healer.
Yeah.
That's me.
All of it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Oh, this is a fun one. I've been waiting for this. This is probably my favorite question.
Oh, I'm a little nervous.
If your life was a musical, what would the marquee say? This is my favorite question.
I think this is just represents you.
I have been waiting. weeks, I tell you that I've been putting all these questions together, and this has been my favorite one by far.
So what would
The marquee.
not the title.
Not the title. It's what so say we're walking on the streets of Broadway in the city on 42nd Street, and we have Abby the Musical. What would the tagline be underneath it on the billboard?
Oh, I really gotta think. The one that's just trying to get it right.
This time around.
Yeah.
Guys, what's inspiring you about life right now?
I think looking back at how far I've come, but also looking to like what's next for like me, for us, just to like see like, wow, like we've done so much, or I've grown so much in even just this past year.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, wow, like looking back a year ago, I was a different person. And I'm like, wow, if I can grow that much in a year and I'm loving who I am now, then like I'm just inspired to just kind of keep doing more and like do the work more, but also like do the work, like
the career work.
The career work.
The real work.
Yeah.
No, the real work it starts with yourself. That's where the real work really happens. And that's where the self-discovery is. I don't want to use the same word. Oh, it's discovered. But within you, you're able to tap into a different version of yourself or the deeper layers of yourself so that you can then show up as that person in your career, in your family, in your relationships, etc.
Exactly. And I'm just excited for
what's to come.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
There's so much.
You could pick one that stands out to you right now.
I mean, we've always been like taught this, just like go with your gut and like just listen to your intuition, because I mean, there's so many times that I didn't, and looking back, it's like, oh no, like I knew I should have like went with my gut and just kind of like continued to go with that. And that's actually funny because I've gone a whole gut healing journey.
So this actually brings us to our next question, which ties into it. What advice would you give to your teenage self? Like, if you could go back.
If I could go back, like, don't be afraid to express who you are, be who you are, and do your own thing. And I did that in a sense, but there were times where I tried to fit in. It's like, oh, all my friends have boyfriends. I should have a boyfriend. I'm going to get a boyfriend. Or it's like, no, who cares? Like, just live your life. Or like, going to college, like, you should do this or that. But it's like, you're on your own journey. Try something new. So I think just like really sticking true to who you are and express who you are, but also don't be afraid to discover that.
And what advice would you have to someone that is looking to discover themselves without that peer pressure?
I think you have to really sit with yourself and kind of just take a step back from everything and be like, is that something that I really want to do? Or am I doing it for someone else? Is it going to benefit me or someone else? And I think you really just have to weigh it out. Is it going to really make you happy?
Exactly. And I think that stems from going back to your gut, listening to your intuition.
Mm-hmm. It's so true.
What resonates with you.
Yeah. And it takes time to fully connect with your intuition and listen to it. Like it's not easy.
So what book do you think everyone should read?
I'm going to go with more of like a self-help book, or like a spiritual book, I guess we could say. I think one that is just good is the Joe Dispenza book. I mean, he's just like so good, and he goes deep dive into science, but he doesn't at the same time. He gives a very well-rounded approach. And it's like if you're looking for that, I mean, it'll take you deep dive into it, but also you could take it with a grain of salt. But then like there's also books that are so basic, like Atomic Habits, that everyone talks about. It's like it's so basic of just building habits and just building
routine.
Routine.
So Becoming Supernatural.
Yes.
And Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
I think those are two good books.
Yeah. It's so hard for me to think of. I've read so many books.
So what is your spirit animal?
I have no idea.
What animal do you like to embody?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. When I was little, I used to love dolphins. And like I'll go with that because I think they're just cool.
They're also very intuitive.
They're intuitive, they're maternal. I feel like I was just gonna say they're maternal and they're protective too. And they're elegant.
They're fun.
They're fun.
They're goofy. I love dolphins. But you love them more.
I do. Yes.
So what's the best gift you've ever received?
Oh, I feel like it has to be this. When I was like 12, 13, grandma gifted me my KitchenAid mixer. And I still have it. I still use it. And it's probably my favorite gift just because I wanted it so bad. And I love it because it helps me create things. It helps me bake. And every time I use it, I always see me and our grandma baking together. So I just love it.
It has a lot of memories.
It does. Yeah.
And when you create in the kitchen, they stem from a different place where not everyone will realize the stories or the memories and the amount of intention that you do put into baking bread or cookies, cakes, whatever it is. There's so much more behind it than just something that tastes amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's more work than I guess what people realize or may see.
So what is the best gift that you have ever given someone?
My love. Duh.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at me.
You got that right. So what is the worst gift you have ever received?
I mean, there were gifts that like exes gave me that like when we were starting to date that like I didn't really love.
Are there any stories behind them?
I think I was gifted like a restaurant gift card, which like thanks.
Really?
Yeah. Like for my birthday.
Was the restaurant good?
Yeah, it was like one that like we went to all the time.
Oh.
But it was like, okay, like I appreciate it. Thank you. But there could have been more thought put into my birthday gift.
A little bit more effort.
Yeah. Yeah. A little more thought, a little more effort. Yeah.
Instead of just a gift card, take me to the restaurant.
Exactly.
Don't just
here you go.
Don't make it easy.
No, exactly.
Because I know the amount of stress that we go through as girls to try to get this big, fabulous, beautiful gift for your boyfriend, your partner, or the male in your life. Or
the parties you plan for them that they have no idea about. How about that?
So what are you most excited about at this time in your life as you head into 2025?
So as I'm heading into the year, I'm 2025, I'm really just kind of excited just to kind of keep going. Keep, like I said before, keep discovering who I am, keep finding new things out about myself, keep growing our business, keep growing our podcast, keep just learning, like learning in general. I'm just really excited because I've said it before, but like I'm single, but I'm actually very excited to be single and very happy to be single because it allows me to work on myself. And like I'm not ready to be in a relationship, so I'm very excited to just do things that I want to do for once and put myself first for
Amen.
once.
And spend money on yourself.
Exactly.
Because you're worth it.
I sure am.
So what's your go-to for having a good laugh?
In what sense?
You just need a good pick-me-up. What's your go-to?
Oh. See, like when I need to pick me up, I go to food. Which like
I mean, hey, if it makes you giggle, by all means.
it doesn't make me giggle. It's just like if it depends how down bad I am. Like if I need a giggle, like sometimes I'll just be scrolling through like Instagram and I'll find something funny.
It's okay. Food, Instagram, perfect.
Or just like watch funny movies.
I like that. What's your affirmation for today?
So one that I've been using recently is I am who I am and that is enough.
And it is. You are powerful, you are worthy, and you are enough.
Mm-hmm.
So between us, what is our funniest memory that we have shared?
Oh, I feel like we have so many. Can you think you have one?
I do.
I mean, the most recent one is when I'm scared.
No, I think it's the same one.
I don't know. The most recent one.
The most recent one.
It was when we were in Nashville. No, is that not the one you were thinking of?
No. Okay, you share that one. And then I'll share the one that I think.
Okay. I think of what you're gonna say.
I'm trying to think of the one that you're
Oh really?
yeah.
You don't have no idea?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So I won't let you wait any longer. We were in Nashville and we were on Broadway and we were walking on Broadway and I held up on my phone. I wrote it on my phone. My sister needs a husband, must be 28 plus years old. I thought that was pretty funny.
I thought that was a good one.
That was outside my comfort zone.
Oh, it was. It didn't work. Did not find my husband in Nashville.
No.
However, we're still on the journey.
Exactly.
We had a great time.
We did.
All that matters.
It's a good laugh. People are laughing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's your memory?
When we were in London, or no, we were in Ireland. I think it was Ireland. And so there was 4 of us in a hotel room. It was me, Abby, and our parents.
This is it. This is it.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
This is like the golden number 1 nailed it.
Yeah.
So we had been traveling for over a week, I would say, because we did London for 5 or 6 days, and then we were hopping over to Ireland for another 5 days, but then we got stuck there, so it ended up being 6 days. Anyway, not the point. And we were hopping from hotel to hotel, living out of suitcases. I guess your typical European vacation, summer. But it was our first time traveling overseas
as a family
to Europe. We've done Caribbean vacations, but never Europe. So we were in, I think this was maybe our 4th hotel at this point.
Something like that.
It had to be our 4th hotel. And Hilton, they messed up our reservation and they put us in this super tiny, it was literally a shoebox. It was 2 double beds. We were in a shoebox. And our parents, they're very healthy, but they're a little old. I mean, I wouldn't say old. I mean they're older.
Like, well, yeah, they're our parents.
They're our parents, exactly. So Abby and I are sharing our bed, and our parents are in another bed. However, our mom and our dad both snore extremely loud, but they both deny it.
Oh, they will deny it.
Deny it until the end of time. So they drift off to sleep. I'm trying to fall asleep. I have my eye mask on, took my herbs, can't fall asleep. My heart's racing. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to fall asleep. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I did affirmations. I did meditations. I went through all of my sleep tracks, nothing.
I did it. I did the same thing.
But I didn't want to wake Abby up, and she didn't want to wake me up because we both thought that either of us were asleep. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is it. And I think I like ripped the covers off. I got so mad. And then you said something, and I'm like, oh, you too? And I'm like, that's it. We're going into the bathroom.
I'm like, okay.
I'm like, get the blankets, get your pillow. We're sleeping in the bathroom. Meanwhile, before we went to bed, I had an argument with my dad that he couldn't leave the light on
In the bathroom.
in the bathroom because I like to sleep in a cold room with 100% darkness.
Yeah.
And I also sleep with a weighted eye mask. However, he got very frustrated and he needed to have the light on. So we proceed to build our new bed in the bathroom.
On the bathroom floor.
On the bathroom floor. My head is like in between the toilet and the shower. Your head is like up against the wall. And we're just about to fall asleep. Finally just got comfortable. And you hear footsteps.
Just hear shuffling.
And shuffling. And someone opens the door.
At least tries to.
Do you remember what he says?
I don't know. He hit you.
He hit me.
He was like, what's going on here?
And we're like, you're snoring. We can't sleep. And then it caused this big commotion at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to be up the next day so early for touring and something in Ireland and wanting to sightsee. And then that next day, we immediately got put into a bigger room.
Yeah.
And it was smooth sailing after that.
It was great after that. But
good times.
It was definitely one of our funniest memories.
One that will go down in the books for sure.
That's for sure.
So if you could give yourself a superlative for where you are right now, what would it be and why?
I'd say most like growth, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because I would say between last year and this year, I really stood up for myself. I'd say like in a way I found my voice because I used to never be one to like speak up or like share how I'm like necessarily feeling. And like I'm still working on that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still not like A+ student on that part, but like I've grown, I've gotten better and just kind of like grown like more confident, more like into myself. I'd say
you're coming into yourself.
Yes, I'm coming into myself. Maybe that's because when you're 25, your brain is like starting to fully develop.
Exactly. You're literally coming into yourself.
Literally.
So what life event has shaped you the most?
I don't know if there's one event, but I feel like it started with our grandma passing, which kind of like smacked me in the face, was like, this is reality. Spend time with your loved ones. Like, don't take this for granted. And then that led me into starting to heal myself, which led me into like discovering myself, which then followed with like a major like breakup, which made me like be like, had to look myself in the mirror and be like, who are you? Or who are you without this person? And then now I'm on this more like physical healing journey where it's like probably one of the hardest things I've been going through, because yes, it's physically taxing, but it's been more mentally taxing. And it forced me to like stop working out, to like deal with certain like emotions and like anxiety and like even like more like depressive episodes. And so that's probably been like what's been shaping me.
Mm-hmm. And it could be scary,
very
challenging. And I know on the observer side, it's scary too, because it's okay, we show up, we talk about the things, the goals that we want. And it's like, is it happening? Is Abby the same sister that I've grown up to? And it's this constant back and forth where I have to also continue to reassure that we are in this together and there is a purpose to it where it's leading, and to also respect the days that you don't feel well. And then also when you do feel well, take advantage of not take advantage
No,
of
but
it, but
I
also like,
take
hey,
advantage of.
let's do what we can right
Mhm.
now. And to also get excited for what is to come. And in 1 year from now, when you will be feeling better and you'll be able to get back into working out, there's so much building to come, where I know it from my past, where you're completely knocked down and the foundation that you may have built over the last 25 years, maybe it wasn't a solid foundation. And you've been saying that you want growth, you want something that is solid. And in order to build a solid foundation, we have to break down the old.
Yeah.
And it's just like building a house. When you want to have this big, beautiful, perfect mansion, but you just purchased this 1800s decrepit shithole.
Yeah.
Sorry, but how are we going to turn this 1800s house into a big, beautiful mansion if we don't knock it down and rebuild from a solid foundation? And that's exactly what you're going through. And it can be so challenging. But when you are going through the midst of it and you're able to discover these new things that you love, such as Qigong. For me, when I was going through Epstein Barr, it was yoga. So maybe that's going to lead you to become a Qigong instructor, or it's going to, whatever these things that do excite you along this journey, that do keep your head above water and keep you
Float.
excited, afloat. It's going to have these little sparks of inspiration to allow you to keep going, to allow you to grow, to learn, and to become stronger, and to build that beautiful, solid foundation. And right now, maybe you can't necessarily do the workouts that you once loved, but you're able to find new things that you will now fall in love with. So it's stripping you away from the old so that you could fall in love with the new, but
Yeah.
also fall in love with yourself and that new version of yourself.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm finally starting to realize that, not necessarily like fully build the house again, but I am starting to realize like, okay, I know this is happening for a reason. I know there's a purpose for this. And on those lower days where I am just like physically, I can't move, mentally, I can't get out of this spiral. It's like, what can I do to get me out of it? What can I do to climb out of this hole? And all the tools that I'm learning and I've learned and I've kind of have in my toolbox, I'm using. And I'm like, okay, I know this isn't gonna last another day because I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z.
I'm going to do a theta healing session with Taylor,
Exactly.
or I'm going to put a guided meditation on, or I'm just going to read my book.
Yeah.
So it's, maybe we haven't got to the point where we're able to lay the concrete, but we're getting the blueprints together.
That's what it is.
We're getting
Yes.
the plans.
Yes.
And maybe not today, we're able to lay the concrete, but tomorrow we're going to be able to dig the hole
Yeah.
so that we could lay the foundation. And then slowly but surely build that big, beautiful mansion.
Exactly. And I think what's also helped me stay afloat on certain days is just like the purpose and showing up consistently, but also like the excitement to, because I'm like, I just can't wait to feel better like in a year from now or 6 months from now. Because I know when I, on my 26th birthday, I'm not going to be how I felt on my 25th birthday because I'm healing, I'm doing the work.
You are. You're showing up and you're growing, you're learning, and you're becoming stronger.
Yeah.
That was a deep one, I know.
No, but it was needed.
It was needed.
It was needed.
It was. And there's a lot of realizations that are forming from
So
just
many.
this conversation, but also from looking looking to the past, but now allowing that and using that to propel you into the future.
Yeah.
This one's fun.
Okay.
Sort of a little lighter. Have you ever been in love, and what does true love mean to you?
Okay, I will say, like, I have been in love, but I think obviously at the time, like, I was in love, I thought it was like what true love was. Like, I really thought that's what it was, and like, you fight for this person, you do what you have to do for this person. But like now looking back, it's like,
So I'm going to cut you
yeah,
off there.
yeah.
So what was your definition of true love in that moment versus how it has shaped your now version of true love?
Okay. I guess looking back, true love was no judgment, being there for the other person no matter what, putting that other person, I wouldn't like, I guess, yeah, if I'm looking back first, putting them first and really just being your authentic self to each other and for each other, stripping everything away and like looking at that person. Now, I'd say mostly some of those things. It's like, yes, like a true love is being truthful and no judgment and caring for each other no matter what, being there for each other no matter what. But it's also like you got to fight for that person. Like no matter what, you got to be there for that person. And when I think about like my future husband, it's like no, I want them to be like, "Oh, you need me? I'm coming now." Like you're not having a good day? Please like tell me why. Not just be like, "Oh, you don't want to tell me? Okay, that's fine." It's like, no, like sometimes you need to pull it out of me.
Yeah, I know from experience. And sometimes I don't know what to do.
Or it's like, be that, in a sense, example. So I feel more comfortable sharing. And it's like, if you don't share, then I don't feel as comfortable sharing.
Me and future husband are going to have to sit down and have a nice heart to heart.
Yes, you are. And I like what's in my mind right now is when we were listening to Kendall Toole's podcast, when she just showed her boyfriend and
Shadow Man.
yes, Shadow Man. And she was like, he makes me feel so comfortable and safe that allows me to open up. And in my past, I didn't have that. So there were some aspects of myself that I didn't open up about, but that's what I want. Like, I want someone to make me feel super comfortable so I can open up and have those super deep conversations with. So I think I got a little off track.
It's okay.
But yeah, true love, I think you got to show up for that person no matter what. And obviously, there's so many different aspects of like love, but yeah.
And I feel that when you're in that essence, you just know.
Exactly. They say you know when you know, and I haven't experienced that yet. But in a sense, I believe it because I mean, I think it goes with just being energy healers and in that field and trusting that intuition. And when that frequency matches, it's
there.
yeah.
You just know.
Yeah. And I mean, you go on dates and you definitely know it's not because.
So, speaking of dates,
Oh,
what has been your most embarrassing dating experience?
wait. You do realize I haven't been on that many dates.
Well, of the ones you have been on, or even in past relationships, has any date stuck out to you that was maybe embarrassing, or any situations that you encountered that were either embarrassing for you or the other party?
Okay. So I went on a date with this guy at school. And I didn't want to, but I was convinced to go. He was a nice guy. However, I just wasn't feeling it. But I still went, you know. And I think this was the time we went to the zoo.
It's during COVID.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It was during COVID. I went to the zoo and we got back from the zoo. You know, we just talked and walked around. Oh, no. But I think it was the botanical gardens, not the zoo. And we got back. We went and like grabbed coffee. He walked me back to the building I was living in, and this was so bad. But like, okay, girls, you'll get it. When you don't feel it, you don't feel it. And I can't force myself to do things that I don't want to do. He tried to kiss me, and in that moment, I put my COVID mask on and just like blocked this guy from kissing me. I just wasn't feeling it. I couldn't help. I just wasn't. I'm not going to force myself to kiss someone that I don't want to kiss.
So, what's your non negotiable for you in a relationship?
About the person or about the relationship?
Just whatever that non negotiable is.
We have to be, I guess, like health wise and um like on the same in the same like mindset wise on the same page about like health and wanting to raise kids a certain way.
I think it's important.
Yeah, like sorry, but like if you want to raise your kids this one way, a certain way, like I don't think we're the right match because I was brought up this way and that's how I'm raising my kids. And I'm being very general.
So, how has your view on love and relationships evolved from childhood to now?
This is cute.
I know. Like Cinderella, when I was writing this, Cinderella and Disney and all the princesses,
Yeah,
that's what I was
because
in mind.
funny you mentioned Cinderella because she was my favorite princess. I don't know why, but I just liked Cinderella. Anyways, but yeah, when you're little, like you watch all these princess movies and you're like, wow, like I can't wait to find my Prince Charming. And it's just going to be this beautiful, magical experience. And
It's just gonna sweep you off your feet.
exactly. He's just going to come in and he's the one and he's just going to hold
Riding on his
you
horse.
on this pedestal. Yes, riding on his horse. Now, I mean, I think like growing up, it's obviously evolved because like when you're in high school, you have your first boyfriend. Love is very different then, and you may think like that's the person when it's like, oh, like what was I thinking? Like, but like now it's like, no, like, hey, he may be Prince Charming. He may come in, sweep me off my feet, and just be this like wonderful guy, which I hope he is. But it's also like it's work. Like being in a relationship is work. Like you have to constantly like work together to figure each other out, figure out what works with them, what doesn't, and show up. And it's like looking at like our parents, like their marriage, like you have to be like 50-50 and there's some things I want to take from their marriage. There's some things that I don't. That it's like you just you when you're I guess now in like your 20s, you realize what you I guess how you want to be in a relationship or like how I guess looking at like your parents' relationship, like what you want to
Embody.
yeah, what
And
you want to
what you want differently.
yeah, yeah.
So, what's your greatest strength thus far?
I think like standing in my power. And I couldn't say that a year ago.
No,
I think
I agree.
yeah, like I've finally like at that point where it's like I can stand in my power. I can like be who I am. And what makes me say this is like when I'm around my friends because like when I was like a couple years ago, like I'd hang out with my friends and like if they were talking about something, I'd just like agree with them. But it's or like when we'd go out to eat or when we were I guess just like parties or around out to eat, I just like get whatever to eat. But now it's like, no, like I can't eat this, and this, and that's who I am. Like I'm at this party and I don't care. I have my bag of supplements right on the table in front of me because I gotta take my supplements with my food. Like this is who I am. And if you judge me, fine. Like,
The people that get it, get it. The people that don't.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm finally able to just walk in that room and be confident and not have to hide in a corner.
Exactly. Because it's your body. You're going to put the right things in it to fuel it so that it can perform at its best.
Exactly.
And it's not easy, but when you are knocked down to the point where it's, I have to do X, Y, and Z in order to get to that person I'm becoming, you have to do whatever it takes. And I think that's what I was telling you a few weeks ago, where I've been there in many situations between healing Epstein-Barr, bodybuilding. When you have that goal, you are going to go to the ends of the earth to achieve it, whether it be a fitness goal, a health goal, or just trying to heal. And that is self-love. That is self-respect. And if others aren't in alignment and they're going to disrespect that, it's really going to show you who loves you, who respects you, who honors you, but also you could also be empowering others too. So, yes, it's a huge challenge, but then others can also see that as, oh, Abby is taking her health a little bit more seriously. Maybe I should. Maybe I should start taking some vitamins. Now, what can I learn from Abby?
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it took a while for me to be able to like stand in my past, stand up for myself in a way. Because recently I was with my friends and we were going out to lunch, and some of them wanted to go to this one place that just had like burgers, french fries, like more like fried food and like that stuff. And I'm like, can't eat that. Like I'm on this strict protocol. I got to eat certain things. And my one friend was like, you know what? I know this place. They have food that you'll definitely be able to eat. Let's go here. I'll go here with you. And like, she was like, she helped me because like, if she didn't, I mean, I didn't know what was good at where we were, but it's like, I appreciate that because it's like you see what I'm going through.
Exactly.
And you recognize it and you're helping me.
And they're respecting you.
Exactly.
And your choices.
Yeah.
And I know there's times where I'm like, you know what? You guys eat. I'll just get food somewhere else. Like it's okay. And at the end of the day, it's about bringing the community together, not about what Abby's eating, what Taylor's eating, what so and so's eating. It's about being together, creating the community, and forming the relationships.
Exactly. And we all ate our lunch together.
Exactly.
It's just we were eating different things.
And everyone's happy.
Exactly.
They're having a good time. All that matters. So we have 2 questions left.
Oh.
I know, it went so fast.
That went by so fast.
So what is an empowered soul to you?
Oh, I like that question. I think an empowered soul is someone who is like a go-getter, that is motivated, that is ready to do the work or is doing the work and is ready to be like what we just said, like, I'm on my journey. I am doing this for me. And if you don't want to be a part of that, that's fine. But this is for myself. I think I'm an empowered soul.
You are.
Because I am like, this is me. I'm on my journey. If you don't want to be a part of it, goodbye. I don't need you. Sorry.
You're harsh. But
that's what I say in my brain. That's not what I say to people.
2 different things.
Exactly. No, but it's like,
no, it's true.
Like
it's
like
very, very true.
Yeah, like you got to have that inner fire, inner drive to just be able to go forward
and keep going.
Yes.
When life knocks you down, when the foundation begins to crumble, what are you going to do to rebuild, but rebuild stronger?
Exactly. And just being an empowered soul is being your authentic self, to continue along your journey, to just go forward, and then it also inspires others. An empowered soul is also someone who inspires.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to gather different tools, such as honoring your body, fueling your body with the right nutrients, supplements, having a meditation practice, having a good routine, so that when times becomes shifted or your routine becomes a little out of whack, what are you going to do to stay empowered, to stay that best version of yourself in the uncomfortable times?
Yeah. And there's so many things I can list off.
You can share some.
uh So I will say I am very proud of myself for this one thing. At the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to meditate every day. And of course, I slacked off. But I didn't let myself slack off for too long. It was like, I want to say like around January 22nd, I'm like, I'm going to meditate every day. And I did. And to this day, I still get up and I meditate for at least 15, 20 minutes. And I do it.
Yeah.
Even when I was with my friends on vacation, I'm like, no, I have to meditate.
Exactly. And I make it a point too. When we're on vacation, I'll wake up a few minutes earlier, go into the bathroom. If all four of us are sharing the same hotel room, I'll get up earlier, go into the bathroom, and I'll do my meditation. I'll do
Yeah.
my breath work.
Yeah, because it just helps. I need to start my day.
Because you're gathering the tools to help you optimize yourself so that you can be feeling good. And everyone is going to have different things that resonate with them, but these are some of the things that we love.
Yeah, exactly.
So last question, and I have to ask this. Going into your 25th year, what is the number one thing that you are soul over?
Okay. So I knew you were going to ask this. So I kind of thought about it just for like a day, not long. And I think it's very fitting for this year, this period of life I'm in. But I think right now and going into this year, the number one thing I'm soul over is timelines. And I say that because you can have a timeline. Like you can be like, by this age, I'm going to be engaged or married or have kids or whatever, whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, like if it's not what God wants, then like you kind of have to just like go with it. Like,
Gotta roll with it.
yeah. And I think why I say I'm so over timelines is because there's pressure on 20-year-olds to, again, by 30, be married or have your career in order,
Of children.
have kids. Yeah. But not everyone's on the same timeline. So I'm just over being like pushed to be on a timeline. And I mean, yes, it's put on you by society, but it's also put on to yourself by yourself.
Because you also choose to stop that pressure or allow that pressure to be placed upon you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, so this year I'm over it. So like I'm no longer on a timeline. Like in the beginning of my physical healing journey, I'm like, by maybe my birthday, which is now, I want to be like called healed and feel better. But it's like, you know what? I want to do this the right way. I don't want to rush it. So I'm not going to put a end date on this. I'm not going to put a date that I want to feel better by. I'm just going to trust in the process, just really just be patient with it. And when I feel better, like I know it's going to be worth it. And however long it may take, it's all in divine timing. And then again, divine timing with relationships. A year ago or even 2 years ago, I thought by a certain age I'd be engaged to the person I was with. But now I'm single and it's like a year ago I was like, oh my God, I'm single? Like, what? But now I'm embracing it. And it's like I'm excited to be single and I'm excited for this new era. And just with career, it's like, yes, we want certain things to happen right away or certain things to just come to be, but we're still growing and there's no time to like there's no date to put on the calendar that we have to hit this many people by this date. Yes, it would be nice, but again, it's like everything is in divine timing. So whatever it is, whatever God has in store for me, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna surrender.
Grow with it.
I'm gonna grow with it.
And that's where the beauty of the journey is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you
for sharing all of your beautiful wisdom, your knowledge, your fun.
I hope everyone enjoyed. I had no idea what I was going to be asked, so hope you enjoy my answers.
I know they did. Wait,
I want to go back to the question with the marquee because I don't think I gave a good enough answer. Oh, how about this?
Okay.
How about this? Abby, whatever you want to title it, the musical, just grow with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. That is it. Just grow with it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Authentically herself.
Amen.
Because honestly, like, I feel really good going into this year. Like, I really do feel like I'm fully coming into myself. And I'm like more, I'm like loving myself, which like I've never said before.
And that's the beauty of healing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abby, so much for sharing all of your knowledge, your wisdom.
Thanks.
Rephrase it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Soul Over It. We are your hosts, Taylor and Abby Scarpello. Don't forget to join us weekly every Thursday for a dose of inspiration, empowerment, biohacking tips, and some exercise for the soul right here on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And if you are listening in on Apple, please don't forget to leave us a review.